The Council's strength, I think, is that it brings together people from so many different backgrounds, and I think it should concentrate on wisdom for the future. So my view is that we should pinpoint what is happening in the world now, which is going to impact in ways that most people can't perceive for the future. So one of those issues would be the destruction that we're bringing about to the environment, particularly in terms of not just the ones that people are familiar with, like pollution, and we're quite right to be concentrating on the destruction of the oceans, but I think also the toxic results of war, the use of depleted uranium, but not only the actual physics and chemistry of that, but also the toxic results of war on future generations. So my strongest concern, and one that I believe is shared by many members of the Council, is the effects of war on future generations. In other words, that when something like Iraq happens, we will reap the damage of that for generation after generation. And it was done without thought for that. The damage to the psyches of children in Iraq at the moment, I think up to 70% of Iraqi children have been damaged psychologically by this war. Now, that's true all over the Middle East. And that's going to have repercussions in terms of the cycle of violence going round and round and round again and producing more wars. So that's where I feel we should concentrate. The strongest contribution that has so far come up that the Future Council can make is this database of best policy. We distinguish between that and best practice because there are many organizations now looking into best practice worldwide. But it's really intelligent to look at best policy so that we spotlight the policies from different parts of the world that are really making a huge difference. Like, for example, congestion charge. Policies that work so that they are really showcased, can be applauded, and then can be copied by other countries, other cities. I think probably personally, my best contribution is as a catalyst. I'm connected up with people who are working at all sorts of levels as a result of my work on nuclear weapons for 25 years. I know people in the military and policy-making circles in the P5, in all the nuclear weapons countries. But also now I'm working with leaders from many countries. And so one of the things I can do, for example, for the future PDIA network, that I think is very exciting. I like that idea. I can connect us up with Jimmy Wales of Wikipedia. So I can make those kind of connections, which I'd be happy to do. The other contribution I think I can make is lateral thinking, as can many of the councillors. For example, if the World Future Council were to take one country, perhaps the very poorest country in the world, and concentrate on how women could be empowered in that country using practices that have worked in other countries, like microcredit, like conflict resolution done by women, like the education of women to secondary level, which automatically leads to a fall in population, as we've seen in Kerala state. Now, if we were to work with the government of that poorest country, possibly Mali, and bring people that we're connected with from those areas where policies have worked, like Bangladesh, like Kerala, like Kenya, where conflict resolution is working so well, and bring those together at the service of that country to really concentrate on how women could be empowered and then measure the effect of that over 5 or 10 years. So the whole world could then see that if you really empower women in a country, you get a very quantifiable, measurable force for alleviating